This video is brought to you by True Tales of Buried Treasure, the largest collection of old treasure magazines in the West. On our website, you can search for individual treasure stories by region, or buy our original magazines themselves. To pay us a visit, please click on the link in the description. Enjoy. Salt Lake City, Utah, nestled in the northern part of the state, serves as the county seat of Salt Lake County. Positioned along the Jordan River, just 13 miles east of the Great Salt Lake, the city was founded in 1847 by Mormon pioneers led by Brigham Young. Today, it remains the central headquarters of the Mormon Church. During the gold rush, Salt Lake City became a crucial stop on the trail to California. In the 1860s, Frank Woolley was working out of Salt Lake City when Mormon leaders appointed him as an administrator within the Zion Cooperative, an organization that provided farm products and cattle to mining camps in California and Nevada. In the spring of 1869, while returning home to St. George, Utah from California, Woolley was tragically killed by Native Americans at Cajun Pass. He was carrying $20,000 in gold coins hidden at the bottom of 2 water barrels, which possibly remains undiscovered. Woolley's responsibilities included sending wagon loads of fresh produce and herds of cattle across the country to areas in need. Payments for these goods were kept in a San Francisco bank until Woolley or his agents retrieved them. In March 1869, Woolley embarked on a trip to California to collect the money. Traveling along the old Spanish Trail from Salt Lake City to Sacramento with a large wagon train of produce, Woolley made his deliveries before heading directly to San Francisco. There, he withdrew a substantial sum in gold coins, surprising bank officials with his preference for the heavy metal over more convenient paper currency. Woolley then traveled to Los Angeles by steamship, where he had arranged for protection on his return journey to Utah. Residing in St. George in southern Utah, this route through Los Angeles was much shorter than the overland trek from San Francisco to Salt Lake City, and then south to St. George. After waiting a day in Los Angeles, Woolley learned that the wagon train had departed a day earlier. He purchased a mule and set off to catch up. 2 days later, Woolley arrived in San Bernardino, California, a town founded by Mormons in 1851, located 55 miles east of Los Angeles at the intersection of present-day Interstates 10 and 15. Here, he faced a crucial decision about which route to take to reach the Mojave River. The river crosses Cajun Pass near modern-day Victorville, with its source about 90 miles to the north. Woolley decided to head north, stopping at Dunlap's ranch for a meal and information before continuing his fateful journey. The Dunlaps informed Woolley that no wagon trains had passed through in recent weeks. The next morning, Woolley continued east and entered the Cajun Pass, now I-15. About 8 miles from Dunlap's, he unexpectedly encountered a group of Paiute Indians driving a herd of stolen horses. Woolley dismounted and approached them, attempting to engage in conversation. Once the Paiutes realized he was traveling alone, they decided to kill him. Sensing their intentions, Woolley tried to escape, but the Paiutes quickly caught up with him, shooting arrows until he fell from his mule, mortally wounded. They then dragged his body into a nearby ravine, stripping it of clothing and equipment, and took his mule and belongings with them. Later that afternoon, the wagon train Woolley had intended to join reached the Mojave River. Traveling slowly, they expected Woolley to catch up within a few days and left a man at the river to wait for him. When Woolley failed to appear, the man retraced the trail, speaking to local ranchers near what is now Victorville. Eventually, he reached Dunlap's ranch, where Woolley had last been seen on March 20th. Fearing the worst, local ranchers quickly organized a search party. The next day, they discovered the site of Woolley's murder and found his decomposing body in the ravine. A metal casket was brought from San Bernardino, and Woolley's remains were transported to St. George, Utah for burial. At the time, no one searched for Woolley's money, as he hadn't mentioned the gold coins he was carrying to anyone, including the Dunlaps. A few weeks after Woolley's belongings arrived in St. George, a receipt from the San Francisco bank was delivered, revealing that he had been transporting a substantial sum of money when he was killed. Realizing the importance of recovering the lost fortune, The Zion Cooperative sent 5 men to California to retrace Woolley's steps. They followed his trail, questioning ranchers and settlers under the guise of being executors of Woolley's estate, gathering information about his final days. Their investigation led them to the general store where Woolley had purchased a mule and supplies, including a peculiar item, a square yard of green cowhide. As the group passed through Cajon Pass, they sought assistance from the military garrison commander at Victorville to apprehend Woolley's murderers. The captain agreed, assigning 12 soldiers to assist in the search. They rounded up and questioned several Paiute bands along the Mojave River, eventually finding Woolley's branded mule at an Indian encampment. Convinced they had found the killers, they disarmed the group and demanded the surrender of the guilty men. The Paiutes held a brief council before handing over the culprits. A search of the camp revealed some of Woolley's belongings, but the missing money was nowhere to be found. Through an interpreter, the searchers questioned each Indian involved, but none admitted to finding any money among Woolley's possessions. However, they did confess to leaving 2 5-gallon wooden water barrels near Woolley's body, likely unaware of the hidden treasure they contained. The Mormons speculated that Woolley had purchased the green cowhide to wrap around the gold coins. By soaking the raw cowhide in water, placing the coins inside, and allowing it to dry, the hide would shrink tightly around the money, forming a secure package. These compact bundles, each weighing about 30 pounds, could then be hidden at the bottom of the water barrels, making them nearly impossible to detect. The soldiers and the Mormon search party returned to the site of the murder and meticulously combed the area, but they found no trace of the water barrels or the gold coins. The Mormons eventually returned to Salt Lake City and filed a report on their findings. The details of Woolley's story were published in the Los Angeles Star and the High Desert News. For years after the incident, the Mormons quietly searched the area whenever one of their wagon trains crossed the Mojave Desert into San Bernardino, hoping to find Woolley's lost gold. Despite their efforts, the treasure seemed to have simply disappeared. Over time, the story of Woolley's gold became a cherished oral tradition in southern Utah, passed down through generations. The St. George newspaper, the Daily Spectrum, has revisited the tale multiple times over the past 50 years, dedicating almost a full page to it in a special anniversary edition. They estimated the value of the lost gold at $35,000, noting that the price of gold had recently risen from $20 an ounce to $35. Today, that same gold would be worth over $500,000. Now, Interstate 15 runs through the Cajon Pass, connecting San Bernardino with Victorville and Barstow. Somewhere, perhaps just off the road in a small ravine, those 60 pounds of gold coins might still be hidden. Will they remain undiscovered forever, or will they one day make a fortunate treasure hunter financially secure for life? Thanks for watching. If you'd like to read the original article or purchase the magazine from which it was taken, please check out our website, truetalesofburiedtreasure.com.